Hi, in this video I will teach you the concept of subnetting in computer networks having the network of class C 192.168.100.0 and the subnet mask will be default subnet mask of class C network. Here also I take the same 255.255.255.0. Now what is our scenario? Using the class C IP address and the subnet mask, we will get up to 0 to 255 IP addresses. So totally we will get 256 IP addresses. Now the scenario is you create a network using this class C network for a 28 host, which means you have to create the network, don't have this IP address. Instead I want which will be not more above than 28, which means closer to 28. Yes, let's see how it is possible. So you do it one thing, take step 1. In this step 1 you take the subnet mask. So what is our subnet mask? 255.255.255. Now the host portion of the subnet mask will be written as binaries. So we all know each octet in a IP address, each octet in a IP address will always have 8 bits. Here also take 8 bits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What will be the step 2? What will be the next step? So step 2, you have to find number of bits in the host portion of a subnet mask to acquire a 28 host. So you take the formula, so which means number of host should be lesser than 2 power n minus 2. N equal to number of bits. Okay, so number of hosts we require. We require 28 hosts. So 28 lesser than 2 power. Let us take number of bits required. So n equal to 1. 2 power 1 minus 2, which is 28 lesser than 0. Is it true? 28 not lesser than 2. What will be the next scenario? Increase the number of bits. N equal to 2. Is 28 lesser than 2 power minus 2, which means 2 power 2 will be 4. Is 4 minus 2 will be 2. Is 28 lesser than 2? Still not. Okay. Then what will we do? Increase the number of bits. N equal to 3. 28 lesser than 2 power 3 minus 2. Is 28 lesser than 2 power 3 will be 8. 8 minus 2 will be 6. Is 28 lesser than 6? No, still not. So number of bits required in a host portion is not satisfied. What will we do now? Now increase the number of bits. N equal to 4. So 28 lesser than 2 power 4 minus 2. 2 power 4 will be 16. 16 minus 2 will be 14. Is 28 lesser than 14? No. Still we not satisfy the condition. What will we do? Again you increase the number of bits. N equal to 5. 28 lesser than 2 power 5 minus 2, which is 2 power 5 will be 32. 32 minus 2 will be 30. Is 28 lesser than 30? Yes, obviously it is true. So number of bits required in the host portion will be 5 bits. Okay. So what will we do now? So we require the 5 bits in the host portion to acquire a 28 host. So you count from right to left for a 5 bits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 bits in a host portion. Now, what will we do now? Rest of the zeros are ignored now. Turned into be ones. Number of bits there? 3 bits. Turned into 1. Go to step 3. Step 3 will be you simply 2 power 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot now you simply multiply this number of zeros into 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4. So 2 power 5, 2 power 6, 2 power 7. So number of bits there, 3 bits. All are what? 1, 2, see all are ones. 1, 1, 1. You multiply this bits into 2 power 7, which means 2 power 7 cross 1 plus 2 power 6 cross 1, 2 power 5 cross 1. 2 power 7 will be 128, 2 power 6 will be 64, 2 power 5 will be 32. Which result 8 to 10. So 10 plus 4, 14. 4, rest is 1. So 6 plus 2, 8, 8 plus 1, 9, 9 plus 3, 12, 1, 2, 24. So what will be our new subnet mask? Our new subnet mask will be 2, 2, 4, which is 224. Which why we take it 224? So our requirement is we have to get a 28 host. So number of hosts. So what is our subnet mask to get a 28 host in a network, which is 255.255.255.224 is our new subnet mask. Now what will we do? You take 192. You take this network part now. Okay. Before that, we take a subnet mask. We find the subnet mask so that we get a 28 host. If you want the clarity, I will teach you once again also. First, we get a network of 192.168.100.0. This is our network part, and our subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Using this network ID and the subnet mask, we will get a IP address range of from 0 to 255. Totally, we will get 256 IP addresses. But our requirement is we want to create a network of 28 hosts for a given network. So what will we do? We have to take the subnet mask first, and then we have to find number of bits required for a host portion, to get a 28 host. So first I will do take the subnet mask 255.255.255. And make the host portion into binary. Here this is a 0, and we all know each octet in a subnet mask will be 8 bits. So I take the 8 bits of consecutive zeros, and now our scenario is we have to find the number of bits in the host portion to acquire a 28 host. Step 2 will be we have the formula to find a number of bits in a host portion to acquire a 28 host. So the formula will be number of hosts should be lesser than 2 power n minus 2. n equal to number of bits. So we will check. First I give the number of bits 1 I taken. Is 28 lesser than 2 power 1 minus 2? Is 28 lesser than 0? No, this is not true. So what will we do now? So we increase the number of bits. Now I take 2 bits. Is 28 lesser than 2 power minus 2, which is 2. Is 28 lesser than 2? No, still not true. Now we increase the number of bits. N equal to 3. 28 lesser than 2 power 3 minus 2, which is 28 lesser than 6. Still it was not true. Again, what will we do? Increase the number of bits. N equal to 4. Is 28 lesser than 2 power 4 minus 2? Is 28 lesser than 14? No. Still it not satisfied the condition. What will we do now? Increase the number of bits. Is 28 lesser than 2 power 5 minus 2, which is 28 lesser than 30? Yes, yes, this is what we required. So we required a 5 bits in the host portion to get a 28 host. Now you go to the subnet mask part and count the number of bits in the host portion. We required a 5 bits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bits we required. Rest of the things will be rest of the zeros will be you ignore and make all of them to be 1. And now step 3. You have to multiply the corresponding bits with the power of 2. So 0 cross 2 power 0, 2 power 1, this all 0, you ignore it. You blindly ignore it. Instead, you can multiply with 2 power 7 cross 1, 2 power 6 cross 1, 2 power 5 cross 1, so that you will get a you multiply all of them and then add, you will get the subnet mask of 2224. Now, how do we now we will find the network ID, first IP, last IP, and the broadcast IP. Okay, so you take the network part now. 192.168.100.0. So 192.168.100. Now, before starting, you will write wherever you are. Now take the host portion, write like this: 2 power 7, 2 power 6, 2 power 5, 2 power 4, 2 power 3, 2 power 2, 2 power 1, 2 power 0. From last to from left to right, you take first 3 bits. Take a first 3 bits. Okay, we want to get a 0 now. What is our network part? We say 0. Do we get a 0 from over here? 2 power 7 is 128. 2 power 6 is 64. 2 power 5 is 32. Do we get a 0? No. So you can simply make it 0, 0, 0. Okay. What will be the rest part? Before that, I will tell you. From if you start with 2 power 2, even you start with 2 power 3. 2 power 2 is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. If you take 2 power 4, which result is 0, 0, 0, 0. I will tell, instead of writing fully, I will make your understanding better. When you are start with the binaries, power of 2 is start with 0, ends with 1. Even here start with 0, ends with 1. If you take a first bit 0, 1, then it will be end with 1, 0. Here also if you take 0, 0, 1, it will be end with all zeros will be turned into 1 now, all ones will be turned into 0 now. Here also same. If you take 0, 0, 0, 0, it will be end with 1, 1, 1, 1. What will be the first IP then? 0, 0, 0, 1. It will be end with 1, 1, 1, 0. If you take 2 power 5, also will be the same. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and ends with 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, all and ends with 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. Okay, now I will tell you why I write that. Before you get this understanding, if you write something power of 2, 2 power 2 means everything will be start with zeros. If you take 2 bits, start with zeros. All 2 bits will be 0. If you take 3 bits, all 3 bits will be 0. If you take 4 bits, all 4 bits will be 0. all ends with, if you take 2 bits, ends with all one of the 2 bits. If you take 3 bits, all ends with continuous ones. Here also, if you take 4 bit, start with 0 0 0 0, and obviously it ends with 1 1 1 1. If you take a 2 power 5, also start with 0 0 0 0 0, ends with 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, now what we are trying to tell you, I will tell you, trying to get. Now in this, here also, this is, we all know, this is the network portion, this is the host portion. You make it is 0. Now what will be the last now? What will be the first now? 192.168.100 dot, you keep the network portion as it is, 0 0 0, and our first IP will be 0 0 0 0 1. What will be the last IP? Now the last IP will be 192.168.100 dot, you again you make it as 0 0 0 slash, it ends with, I mentioned last 1 1 1 1 0. Now this 1 will be turned into 0. Now 192.168.100 dot, you make it as 0 0 0. Now you make everything to be 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, now what we going to find? What is network IP, subnet mask, first IP, last IP, and broadcast IP, new network IP. So our network IP is now 192.168.100.0. Subnet mask part will be 255.255.255.224. First IP will be 192.168.100 dot. What will be the, see, after the network IP, that will be our first IP. What will be the last IP? You have to find the broadcast IP so that you will get the last IP and the network IP. So what will be the last IP? You take 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5, 2 power 6, 2 power 7. If you multiply all of them, 0 cross 2 power 0, 1 cross 2 power 1, 1 cross 2 power 2, 1 cross 2 power 3, 1 cross 2 power 4. This all will be 0 because 0 cross something, that will be a 0 now. So 2 power 4 is 16, 2 power 3 is 8, 2 power 2 is 4, 2 power 1 is 2. So our last IP first. So last IP, before that last IP, I will tell first you have to find the broadcast IP, then you will get easily what is your last IP and then network IP. So here you multiply 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4. So broadcast IP will be 192.168.100.31. So 31 is your broadcast IP. Then what is the last IP? Before the broadcast IP, what will be the previous number? That will be the last IP, which is 192.168.100.30. What will be the new network IP? 192.168.100.32. Is 32 is your new network IP. Come, let's do it next thing. So what will be the next network IP, which is 32, 192.168.100 dot, you written like this. Okay, 2 power 7, 2 power 6, 2 power 5, 2 power 4, 2 power 3, 2 power 2, 2 power 1, 2 power 0. You take the host portion first. So first 5 bits, 1 2 3 4 5, you make all of them to be 0, blindly 0, first 5 bits in the host portion. Now we want to get the network IP. Always network IP comes from network bits. This is the network portion. That is why we call it as a network portion. So the reason why we call a network portion is network bits always come from network number. This number will always come from only these 3 bits now. Okay. Now you check. Is 2 power 7 is 32? No. Is 2 power 6 is 32? No. Is 2 power 5 is 32? Yes. 2 power 5 is 32. So you make remaining will be 0. Now what are you going to do? You have to find the first IP. You just simply write 192.168.100.001. You don't touch it here. So now you make it as 00001. What will be the last IP? I already mentioned invert of first IP will be the last IP. 192.168.100.001. Now 001. Now the inverse of this 0 turned into 1, 0 turned into 1, 0 turned into 1, 1 turned into 0. This is the last IP. What will be the broadcast IP? 192.168.100.001 slash 1111111. Now, so what is the network IP? What is the network IP, what is the first IP, what is last IP, what is before that we have to write a subnet mask. Subnet mask you keep always subnet mask, otherwise you people will forget. So we write what is network IP and subnet mask, first IP, last IP, broadcast IP, and finally we will get new network IP. So what is the network IP now? We all know. So our network IP will be 32. 192.168.100.32 will be the network IP. After the network IP will be the first IP. Before that I write the subnet mask 255.255.255.224 and the first ID will be 192.168.100.33 last IP. So once you find the broadcast IP, you will get the last IP and the next network IP. What will you do now? So you simply multiply 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5, 2 power 6, 2 power 7 and multiply corresponding binary bits with power of 2 and then add, you will get the broadcast IP. So if you multiply 1 cross 2 power 0, 1 cross 2 power 1, 1 cross 2 power 2, 1 cross 2 power 3 plus 1 cross 2 power 4 plus 1 cross 2 power 5, you will get the IP of 3263. So what will be the broadcast IP? 192.168.100.63 will be the broadcast IP. Before the broadcast IP will be your last IP. So 192.168.100.62 and the new network IP. After the broadcast IP will be your new network IP, which is 192.168.100.64. 64 will be your new network IP. Now we move on to next network. So we move to next network. You take it now. So now you written 192.168.100.64. What I told you, you take 192.168.100 dot. First you mention 2 power of 2's, 2 power 7, So 2 power 7, 2 power 6, 2 power 5, 2 power 4, 2 power 3, 2 power 2, 2 power 1, 2 power 0, which is 2 power 7, 2 power 6, power 5, 2 power 4, 2 power 3, 2 power 2, 2 power 1, 2 power 0. Now you blindly take a host position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bits we are taken for the host portion. You make all of them to be zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what we are going to do now? Now, you simply find the network bits. I already tell this network number always come from only the network portion. You check. Is 2 power 7 is 64? No. 2 power 7 is 128. Is 2 power 6 is 64? Yes. 2 power 6 is 64. You make it as 1. Rest of the things will be 0 now. Okay. Now we have to find the first IP. How do we get? The same step we follow. 192.168.100.010 slash. You make all the ones, all the zeros. Sorry, 00001. So this is our first IP. What will be the last IP? 192.168.100 dot. You keep the network portion as it is 010 slash inverse of this binaries as a last IP, which means 0 turned into 1, 0 turned into 1, 0 turned into 1, 0 turned into 1, 1 turned into 0. What will be the broadcast IP? All are ones. 192.168.100.010 slash 11111. Now again you have to write the network IP, subnet mask, and first IP, last IP, and then you finally write broadcast IP, new network IP. So what is our network IP? Our network IP will be, if you want you can directly write. In case if you find any confusion, you multiply corresponding bits with the power of 2. If you multiply 0, you just ignore because you will get the answer of 0. But if you multiply 1 cross 2 power 6, that will be your network part. Okay, I will write directly. 192.168.100.64 is our network IP, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.224, and the first IP after the network IP, that will be your first IP. So 192.168.100.65 is your first IP. What will be the last IP? You find the broadcast IP so that you will get the last IP. So how do we find? Multiply 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5, 2 power 6, 2 power 7. So 31 plus 64, which means 5 is 995. Okay, the broadcast IP will be 192.168.100.95. What will be the last IP? Our last IP will be before the broadcast IP, that will be your last IP. 192.168.100.94. 94 will be your last IP. What will be your next network IP? After the broadcast IP, that will be your network IP 192.168.100.96. Okay. Now, how many networks we created? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. So I will create next 192.168.100.010 slash sorry, I made a mistake. Before that, you have to write 2 power 7, 2 power 6, 2 power 5, 2 power 4, 2 power 3, 2 power 2, 2 power 1, 2 power 0. You take a first host portion 1 2 3 4 5 5 bits are the host portion. So what will we do now? We have to find 96. So I already mentioned host portion, you make it as 0, blindly you make it as 0, no need to worry about that. Now we have to find network IP in the network bits. How do we get? So 2 power 7 is 128, 2 power 6 is 64, 2 power 5 is 32. How do we get a 96? How we will get 96? So if you are adding 64 plus 32, you will get a number of 96. You make this one and make it as 0. Okay. Now 192.168.100.011 you rest. You don't touch here network portion. In the host portion, in previously I mentioned like 00001. What will be the last IP? Inverse of this will be your last IP, which is 192.168.100.011 slash 0 will be turned into 1, 0 turned into 1, 0 turned into 1, 0 turned into 1 turned into 0. What is the broadcast IP? So 192.168.100.011 slash all bits host portion will be 1. Okay, now you have to find what is network IP. So network IP, subnet mask, first IP, last IP, and new network IP, I think. Yes, sorry, broadcast IP and new network IP. What will your network IP now? So your network IP is 192.168.100.96 your network IP, and the subnet mask is 255.255.224 is your subnet mask. What will be your first IP? After the network IP, whatever number come, that will be your first IP. So 192.168.100.97. What will be your broadcast IP? Once you find the broadcast IP, you have the advantage of you can get the last IP and the new network IP. So how do we get the broadcast IP? You multiply 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5, 2 power 6. So 127. So broadcast IP will be 192.168.100.127 is your broadcast IP. The previous number of the broadcast IP will be your last IP. So 192.168.100.196 your last IP. New network IP will be 192.168.100.128. So 128 will be your new network IP. How many networks we create? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you write like this: 192.168.100 dot, before that you have to write the power of 2, which is 2 power 7, 2 power 6, 2 power 5, 2 power 4, 2 power 3, 2 power 2, 2 power 1, 2 power 0, and take the host portion. From right to left, 5 bits are the host portion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bits are the host portion. You make all of them to be zeros, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now, what is the network portion? I already mentioned, you check 128. This network portion will comes only this network bits. Only this network bits. So, where do we get our network bits? So, what will be the 2 power 7? 2 power 7 will be 128. So 128, rest of the things are 0. So you will get a new network IP. So what is the first IP? You write like this: 192.168.100.100 slash, in the host portion, 00001. What will be the last IP? Inverse of first IP will be your last IP. 192.168.100.100 slash, 0 turned into 1, 0 turned into 1, 0 turned into 1, 0 turned into 1, 1 turned into 0. This is your last IP, and the broadcast IP will be 192.168.100.100 slash 11111. Okay. So what is our network IP now? So network IP is same, and the subnet mask, and you first IP, last IP, and the broadcast IP, new broadcast IP, new network IP. So our network IP will be 192.168.100.128. What will be our subnet mask? Subnet mask will be 255.255.255.224. What will be the first IP? After the network IP, whatever number comes, that will be your first IP. So 192.168.100.129. So 129 is our first IP. What will be the last IP? You find the broadcast IP. You have the advantage of you can find both the network IP and the last IP. So broadcast IP will be, you multiply 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5, 2 power 6, 2 power 7. So 31 plus 128,951. So our broadcast IP will be 192.168.100.159. What will be our last IP? So the last IP will be 192.168.100.158 is our last IP. What will be our next new IP? Next IP, next network IP. So next network IP will be 192.168.100.160. Okay. So how many networks we created for the host having 28? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay. Still 192.168.100. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. So again I am saying, you write 2 power 7, 2 power 6, 2 power 5, 2 power 4, 2 power 3, 2 power 2, 2 power 1, 2 power 0. Okay. Now you make the host portion first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep all of them to be zeros. Now what will be our 160? 160 is our network IP. Network IP always comes from only the network portion. How are you going to get? So you simply make 128 plus 2 power 5, which is 32, is 160. Okay. Now what will be our first IP? You write 192.168.100.101 slash 00001, and the last IP will be 192.168.100.101 slash 11110. So now broadcast IP will be 192.168.100.101/11111. Okay, now we have to find our scenarios. So which is network IP, subnet mask, first IP, last IP, broadcast IP, next network IP. So network IP will be 192.168.100.160. Subnet mask is 255.255.255.224, and the first IP will be after the network IP, that will be the first IP, which is 192.168.100.161. And if you find the broadcast ID, you have the advantage of finding the last IP and then next network IP. So broadcast IP will be, you multiply 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5, 2 power 6, 2 power 7. So 63, 1, 2 power 160. So 128 plus. Okay. So 11891. So the broadcast IP will be 192.168.100.191. The last IP will be 192.168.100.190. So the new next network IP will be 192.168.100. After the broadcast IP, which is our one new network IP. Okay, I will leave it from here itself. I want you to find the rest of the things. You have a two network ID remaining, which is 101, next is 110 and 111. I want you to find the network IP and subnet mask, first IP, last IP, broadcast net, and the next network IP of this both, and leave it in comment section. I hope you will do it. Thank you.